Good evening, everyone. So we're live on Friday, 8 p.m, which is going to be our usual slot for the next few weeks. Thanks for everyone that's dropping in. I know Jules has been busy away on the comments. He's now busy away, messing about as usual. He's now going to blind me with some lights. Wonderful. Thanks, Jules. Can you just check that you can hear us, first of all?
Or can you see us? Can you hear us? As they say.
If you could just say whether you can hear us, that'll be great, and then I'll carry on.
We can see and hear you.
Oh, super! Right,
Cheers,
I'll let Jules go through who's dropped in because I can't see it from here.
Oh, you want me to talk now?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So I've been saying hello to VW Adventures. So Phil and Lisa, thank you for joining us. Tony Marsh, Lloyd. We've got Gavin White, we've got Howard, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper, hanging with the Coopers, Bob McKay, Ian from Caravan Gossip again, thank you so much for being a blue spanner for me tonight. Graham Elliott, and we've got Anne Brooks and Shirley, Julie Palin, Mr. Ditton, thank you for joining us. Rob Forrest has just dropped in. Emil Carlson and Sharon Foster, Sharon and Jeff, and Lloyd and Yvonne, Goodwin, Canny Caravanning, and it's jumping all over the place. Canny Caravanning, Crafty Caravanners, Anthony Getty.
Loads.
Yeah, loads.
Loads of people.
52 watching. Venomator, Rog is here. Caravanning with our Westies, Dave from Partnest, Danny Drayton, David Bell, good evening, Linda, good evening. Oh, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. This is really nice. Thank you.
It's really good. So lots of people dropping in, so I'll make a start. I might try and move a bit nearer to you, Jules. I don't know. I'm sort of squashed.
2 meters.
Yeah, it's all right if you live together.
Oh, yeah.
Before we start, obviously I'd like to say thanks for everyone that's joined us. And I would just like to start with some sad news, and that won't be the theme of tonight, but there is some genuinely sad news. And for those of you that have seen Mark Hill on our channel commenting on the lives, his father very sadly has passed away from the coronavirus on Wednesday. And because of the way the virus is, he wasn't able to be in hospital with his dad, so he's absolutely devastated. So I just want to say, Mark, you know, my thoughts are with you, and I'm sure
the community's thoughts are with you.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, I think as we go on, there'll be, sadly, many people that do find themselves in a situation where they're going to potentially lose relatives or have them very ill. So, let's all stick together and be mindful that although we're trying to keep our spirits up and get through this, it's going to be a very difficult time, and that's certainly not been lost on Jules and I. So going on from that, I'd like to say thank you so much for everyone that has joined us. So what we've been up to, well, crikey, since we saw you all last on Friday night, there's been rapid developments, really. Sunday, obviously the clubs closed their sites. That's the Camping and Caravanning Club and the Caravan and Motorhome Club. And that obviously brought a rapid halt to everyone's touring plans there and then. Then we had Boris on Monday announcing that it was, practically not much further off than a lockdown. And I think that's sort of the way it's been seen. And that's meant a lot of restrictions on what we can and can't do. I'd like to say again, a huge thank you to everybody that is still working in key worker roles, whether that be within the NHS, the police, the fire, people making deliveries, lorry drivers, carers, you name it. Those people that are literally keeping, the wheels turning, delivering everyone's food. I'm sure we'll all agree that everyone is doing an amazing job. And having once been there, I know how much people's support does mean to people
when they're doing it.
Yeah, when they're doing it. Yeah, so. Because it's very difficult. I mean, those people that are working within the NHS, I know Tony Marsh, who's on now, he works as a porter. There's Sally, who follows us. I don't know if she's on tonight, but she's in Harrogate. She's a nurse. There'll be plenty of people here that are they've got relatives. I mean, Martin Sanderson, his daughter, is working in the nursing profession. So people are worried, and it's understandable. So thank you to everybody. I know last night we went out and clapped, didn't we? And it was really nice because we went out, and it was quite funny because we're watching our Apple iPhones waiting for 8 o'clock. And the old couple who live opposite us, we don't know them, we've not met them as yet, but they live opposite. They're obviously going by the grandfather clock. So it was like, was it about 2 minutes to 8? They start clapping away. And I said to Jules, oh, bless them. We're on, 8 o'clock Apple time, and they're on the grandfather clock. But the village, you could hear it. Everyone was clapping.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was actually, yeah.
It was quite
touching.
Yeah, it was very touching. It was lovely to hear. And I know a lot of other people put footage on Twitter of where they lived, of everyone out. And depending on how busy it is where you live, depends on what you heard. I mean, Andrew, you're in the middle of nowhere, and I think you and Dougal were out clapping paws and hands. But just to know that everybody else was doing the same, it was absolutely lovely. So I'll just let Jules go back to some comments, because we'll just keep on top of what everyone else is saying.
I didn't really want to have the theme of the night, but I want to... David Bell said, be interesting as ex-West Yorkshire Police, your thoughts on the force's future efforts in having to encourage people flouting the guidelines. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
We'll come back to that then.
Yeah. Carl, he's got a friend who's struggling at the moment, fighting for his life. Sorry to hear the bad news. Eileen, her daughter works in the NHS, really scary for her, scary times. Phil from Lost Weekends, obviously retired. He's saying there's a rumour that they may ask retired cops to come back. I've been keeping quite a close eye on it. There has been some bits and pieces coming out on the news where we are now. So I'm actively sort of keeping an eye on that and seeing exactly where they go with that, because obviously I'm fit and well. I've been left for under 2 years. So,
well, that's it. I mean, sadly, I'm not going into the politics of why people did leave the police that were our age and highly skilled and experienced officers, but it was quite political, really. And so there'll be a lot of officers out there who did take early retirement to save money, joking aside, for the police. And now it's like the government are going to have to spend that money to get people back, because, people like us that are experienced, joking aside, there's a lot of, like Phil from Lost Weekends, retired within the last few years. He went sort of similar time to us, and he'll know, as David, who works within the West Yorkshire Police, the experienced officers are the ones that know how to deal with, tricky situations. I mean, like when I joined, it was Bradford riots. I mean, that wasn't an average, situation to be in. So we've dealt with public disorder. We've dealt with also reassuring people, because it's not just about waving sticks at people. That's not what policing's all about, believe it or not. It is about working with your communities and trying to reassure people. So there's a lot of skilled people out there. Even they've been saying about driving ambulances. I mean, God, joking aside, I mean, one thing I was good at was driving. And I'd quite happily go back and drive an ambulance, to be totally honest. I'd be straight there. So we'll wait and see.
We're keeping an eye on it, so we'll have to see.
The Met are doing it. It's happening in the Met right now. And I think it will roll out, certainly in the larger metropolitan forces. I think West Midlands may well look at doing it. West Yorkshire Police could well look at doing it, because they lost they went from 5,000 officers to 4,000, which is a lot of officers to lose. The big cities could well look to bring
that, David,
people in.
Fire service staff have been asked to drive. So
yeah. I mean,
anyway,
that's it. So yeah, we'll wait and see on that. But it's a very good question, and we'll wait to see what happens. So next Friday, there might just be the sofa. We might not even be sat on it. We might be out there by then. But that's what we are sort of really waiting to hear. But going back to people waving and clapping outside last night, I mean, I've got to mention my dad, bless him. My dad really struggles to walk, and when if he's out and about, he's in a wheelchair. And was it this morning I spoke to him to catch up with him this morning? So after last night, bless him, he shuffled to his back patio doors. He had a clap outside, and then he went to his front door, shuffled out there, and nearly took a tumble. I mean, I was like, Dad, you're going to be a burden to the NHS. Get back inside. But, he just wanted to do his bit, which thought, bless him, he appreciates it as well. So, yeah, stay inside, Dad. When you watch this tomorrow, because you'll be in bed now, for God's sake, stay inside. So that happened since last week. And we've been doing our Twitter lives, which I know quite a few of you dropped in on, so thank you. We were live from the garden. We're doing them on Mondays and Wednesdays. Wednesdays we decided to our garden is now becoming a certified location, isn't it? And
Only through us.
yeah, just for us, because it's like about as big as our lounge. But yeah, we've decided that's where we're going to be spending our Easter holidays, and that...
Your dad's on.
Oh, is he?
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, Graham Phillips, this is my dad, right? He's a danger to himself and others. Dad, keep away from the keyboard as well, because that's another place where he's dangerous. So, hi, Dad. And I've been checking in on him, and he's all right. So, yeah, so the garden as well, our shed, we've decided we're going to let that out as an Airbnb after all this. It's only about 2 metres by a metre, but, we've got a lot of time on our hands to make these conversions. Easter, which is only 2 weeks away, Easter weekend, as far as I know, we will be doing a live on the Friday, and hopefully we're going to maybe, if the weather stays good, decide that we're going to have an Easter holiday in the garden, because Easter's such a big time for all of us to get out, and we won't be going anywhere. So if you want to join us either on your driveways or in your gardens, we're going to put the awning up if the weather's good. We're going to erect our awning.
No, we're not.
We are. I'm going to. Oh no, because I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
we are. We're going to do it.
There's nothing to put it on.
I'm going to put it on the side of the house.
There's no
We
strip.
can go out the patio door.
Anyway.
It's inflatable.
I've put a link in there for Twitter. If you don't follow us and you want to be included in the lives, then I've put a link. So that'll take you to our Twitter handle so you can follow us. And if you want to be part of the lives, which will be Monday and Wednesday
Twitter lives,
then that's good. I'm also going to put a link to our mailing list and our newsletter. So if you want to be included in the mailing list and the newsletter that we send out, I wasn't going to bombard people with emails. From it. However, people seem to really like it. They like reading the blogs and the bits that we're putting out. So we've started stepping that up. So that's probably going out twice a month at the moment. It might even go out a bit more. But if you want to see what we put out and join that, that is on there as well.
Do you want to cat? Because there's quite a few more people that have just dropped in as well.
Yeah.
Gareth's put little Freddie to bed.
Martin from Caravan Nut. Easter's now a DIY week. So new joiners that I've seen: Kevin Brown, Steve McLeod, Gareth. I didn't see you drop in. Good evening. He's been putting Freddie to bed, like you say. The Beckwiths, John Reisman, Lensman 2 Online. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, let's have a look. Come on, Graham Phillips, spill the beans. What's that? What's Andrew saying? Andrew, you're so naughty. When in doubt, have a nap.
Oh, and Alison's in as
Graham
well.
Phillips, tell us some embarrassing stories about Karina, please. This is your big chance.
I think I've got more about my dad than he's got of me. I'm sure my dad will agree.
You obviously don't know Karina very well, Andrew.
What's that?
Well, you don't do anything bad.
No, I don't. No, my dad. I've got loads of embarrassing stories about my mum and my dad. To be fair, and my dad'll. I mean, crikey. We'll get to those anyway. If you want those at some point. I mean.
And we promised everybody who's been on the Twitter lives, we're going to tell the tale and the story about when we met. So that'll probably come on Monday.
And I'll tell you about my mum and dad as well, because those are not average stories. But yeah, so let's just recap as well. Last week, what I did ask is for everybody, if they were able to and they had the ingredients and they could do it safely, was to bake something. So whether that be cake, we'll come to that in a minute, but whatever it would be, that would be fantastic. And I must say, I think I've had 21 entries. So we will show photos of all the entries. And also, it's fantastic. Colapz got in touch with me. Dave Fanning, bless him. I don't know if Dave's on or not. But when I did my video on Monday, Dave Fanning got in touch and he's actually put forward 3 prizes. So tonight, I've got 1 prize tonight, and that's the Colapz trunk. We're giving away a Colapz trunk for the winner tonight. Next week we're going to do a quiz, and Dave's given us, I think, one of the double adapters, and then the bingo, which is going to be...
Colapz have just dropped in, just saying good evening.
Good evening, Dave. I'm just telling everyone about your excellent prizes that you've kindly donated, and the quiz, which will be the week after next, the bingo, sorry, week after next, it is the flexi pipes. So we've got some prizes. I'd really hope that other companies might have given some sort of prizes, but we've not heard anything. So
just quickly, whilst I've got a bit of a break and my mind's working tonight, I had a bit of a head earlier, but it's coming back. It's starting to work again. Martin Johnson, yes, a massive shout out to all the motorway workers who are going out there in certain times, keeping everything running and keeping everything going, especially for all the HGV. Obviously, HGV hours, taco licensing, driver's hours, everything have been relaxed for all this. So thanks to all the HGV drivers, thanks to the road workers keeping everything running, thanks to everybody for everything that they're doing. It's fantastic. Secondly, Jill Nichols, you've just said you've just got a new motorhome, you can't wait to use it, you're gutted, can't wait to get to the other side. Now's a good time to mention Duvalay have just put out a sale. There's I think it's a 25% sale that's on that has just gone on tonight that we've seen. We can put a link, Ian, if you're on that. We can stick a link there. So some good bargains to be looked at potentially.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. A lot of us in this industry. I mean, there's a lot of people, full stop, that have obviously been furloughed, so they're at home, or they have literally been laid off, or they're self-employed. I mean, the situation we're in is, we're not earning anything right now. My dad, the bank of dad, I mean, I have maybe sort of mentioned it to him, but he's closed his doors. All the other banks are open, Dad. So, but no, seriously, there's a lot of self-employed people. I know Alison's on, she's a hairdresser. She's lost her work. Andrew, he's lost his. Bob and Eileen. There's a lot of people that have lost work.
Bob and Eileen, if you've got a link to your website, if people want any bits and pieces, whack it on, let people see.
The caravan industry is literally ground to a halt. Obviously, the shows are cancelled, which is where a lot of people are going to earn their income. Bailey have closed down, Swift have closed down, Eldis have closed down, Adrian, Slovenia, I think they closed down quite a little while ago. So everything's closed down. And where we'll be when this starts again, I don't know, because the 2021 models are pretty much on hold. So what will happen, I don't know. But Duvalay, they did contact us earlier. Now, Liz and her family, it's a family company in Yorkshire, they're in West Yorkshire. The problem they've had, she explained, is that they obviously sell theirs on to national retailers. The national retailers have closed, they've cancelled their orders. So Liz is in a situation like a lot of people, they've got all this stock, they've spent the money to buy it, and now they've got a big problem. What they're saying is they're doing this sale, 25%, and that's on the Duvalays, and that it is a fantastic offer. And I know a lot of you won't have money to spend right now, but if you have and you want to purchase anything, it's a good time to have a look. And you are supporting a family business, which, again, Liz said, it is the family that's working. It's not the staff, it's Liz and her family. So just wanted to put that out there.
Clacudder's fact.
Yeah,
Lloyd, Clacudder's fact.
So that's that. The other thing is, I mean, they've put out as well for volunteers. 750,000 people have come forward to volunteer, which is phenomenal. I don't know if anyone on here has volunteered to do anything.
Just want to say thanks, Graham. He's a mobile mechanic and he's offered free help to NHS staff within Maidstone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stuff like that
Makes a big difference to people.
You can't put a price on that. That's
no,
brilliant. Thank you.
We've closed our factory. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's tough times for people, genuinely. And we don't know what will happen at the other side. As long as we come through alive, for me, I'm just thinking that's it for me. As long as you've got your family, then we've been successful. So that's that. There's also, I mean, obviously people are volunteering. On Facebook, there is a group as well that's been set up. It's called Say Hello. And what it is, it's a bit like a volunteering scheme, but it's just about encouraging people to contact people that might be isolated, whether that be because of age or health. And it's all it is, it's about just making a phone call to somebody that you might not have spoken to in a while, or thought, friends that you've lost touch with who might at this time need a bit of support. So Facebook, say hello. I think there's about 100 people following it now. I mean, Jules and I, we're ringing Anne and Gary. So we're doing our bit for the elderly community. In fact, I rang Anne and Gary today, and yeah, they seem in pretty Jules. They seem in pretty good spirits. I've obviously been in contact with my dad. You've been in contact with your auntie and uncle. So I'm sure plenty of people are ringing various.
Just having a play with some lights.
That's brilliant, Jules. Do you want to put them back before you put us into darkness? What else?
Yeah, mood lighting. Absolutely. Stop messing about. The toys!
Alison's. Yeah, I'm glad you agree, Andrew. Maybe you could have Jules for a few weeks when all this passes at your house, because I know I've had enough. Oh, and we did... and Rob Margerison, that's Sally's husband. And that's obviously who I was saying about Sally, obviously, with the NHS.
Harrogate.
Rob Forrest is asking how the cob cooking went. Now, this week, I mean, this is... Mark, whose father's passed away, he very kindly super chatted £10 last week, and we've reinvested that into the channel, haven't we? So with this £10, we purchased some charcoal, some sausages, some muffins, some cheese, some eggs, and we did a tin to tum, which we're going out on Tuesday. It's not an amazing standard, I must say, because we were we were in the garden, but we did our best, didn't we? So
It's not an amazing standard, because as usual, I cooked it, I filmed it, I did it, I edited it, and it was like, what were you doing?
I was watching.
Sunbathing.
I was supervising.
So it's pretty poor for what I would say is our standard.
Yeah, but we've done sausage, egg and cheese muffins, and they came out really well because Jules did them. So yeah, that'll be going out on Tuesday, and they're really easy to do. You can just do them in your kitchen at home. You don't need a barbecue to do them. You can just cook them at home, but they're really nice. So
I did, Anne.
So
I ate them.
Yeah, Jules ate them. I started on one, but I just didn't have the taste for it, to be fair. So Jules got to eat that as well. Oh, and then yesterday, because we haven't got an oven, but we have got a slow cooker. We made a stew, didn't we?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Jules made a stew. Oh, it was amazing. It was really nice. And tomorrow I'm going to do a tuna pasta bake in the slow cooker.
I'm having Fudge's tea.
Yeah, even Fudge wouldn't want my tuna pasta bake. And also today...
Oh, we've got a blue spanner stir in here.
Oh, go on. Did you eat the cakes you made earlier? Right, so when I set the challenge... okay, I didn't have any ingredients. So when we did get a chance to go to the shop, I thought, right, we'll get flour, because I read online what I needed. And there were no ingredients. So, people have bought it all. But I did get a packet mix. So today, I decided to try and microwave my vanilla cupcakes. Oh, I was gutted because I really wanted some cake. I was absolutely desperate for them. And when I made them, I tried to microwave them. Oh, I don't know what.
Cupcakes? They're like rock cakes.
They were like rock cakes. I did put some video on Twitter. I didn't put the video of where I was then dropping them on the worktop. They were like rocks. Well, there was a mixture. Some were like still raw, and others were just rock. And then I tried to make butter icing, and it just looked like talcum powder. And I thought, well, I'm not wasting any more butter, because these sort of times of rationing, I can't waste it. So I just gave up. I've got a picture for you coming as well, in and amongst the genuine entries. So what I'll do is shall we move on to the cake competition?
Yeah.
Is everyone ready then?
Is everybody ready?
Right, are we all ready? Are we ready?
Do cake,
Corinne's dad's hilarious. What has my dad been doing?
Oh, he's just telling it as is. Cooks just like her mum did.
Oh, brave man, Dad. If she was here now, that would be it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, like that time, that Christmas. Do you remember Christmas, Dad, when those
Oh, here we
relatives
go.
came from America? Here's a quick story before we do the cakes. So my mum, she always had really bad problems with her lungs, and funnily, that's what killed her. But yeah, she always had problems with her lungs. And one Christmas, all our relatives had come over from America, and I think my mum had bronchitis, and she was literally in bed. She was so ill. This must be going back. How many years ago was that, Dad? That was back in the eight. I don't know. Would it be in the 80s? Could have been in the 80s. So my dad decided to cook the Christmas dinner, although my dad prefers drinking to cooking, and he got absolutely hammered, to put it lightly. And as he was taking the chicken out or the turkey out to turn it, he dropped it on the floor. And yes, it exploded everywhere. And that was Christmas dinner ruined, wasn't it, Dad? Do you remember that one? That was a brilliant year, that one. So yeah.
God knows.
Oh yeah, yeah. So anyway, we digress. Let's have a look at these entries. Now, my dad hasn't actually submitted an entry. Before we start, oh, hold on. Right, before we start, I will say, unfortunately, I have had 2 entries that I have had to disqualify. They've cheated. I can. They've cheated.
They've damn right
They've
cheated.
The first entry that I've had to disqualify is Sid Lewis. Now he tried to tell
Weber
me
cake.
he'd made a cake on the Weber, and it looked like somebody's wedding cake. It was that good. So sorry, Sid, you have been disqualified.
AKA Pinocchio.
But I think you've already got a collapsed trunk, so you're all right. If not, I'll get you one. Mark Cooper. Now, Mark tried to tell me that he'd made a strawberry cake and he dusted it with frost from this morning. Mark, sorry.
We found the picture off the internet.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. So sorry, Mark, you're out. So let's start with some genuine entries. And I want to say I have been absolutely overwhelmed by everyone that's got involved. Seriously.
It's been brilliant.
It has. And, brilliant. So let's start. So this is the first entry. If I get any of them mixed up, I'm so sorry, but I've tried my best. But because we've had them coming in on email, Facebook, and Twitter to me and Jules. So this one's from Jeff. So entry number 1 is Jeff. You might have to turn your thing up a bit there, Jules. It's a bit blown out. Yeah, these are salted caramel Ferrero Rocher cakes. You might have to go a bit.
I'm gonna.
All right, Jules will come a bit nearer because the picture doesn't quite do those justice. So these are salted caramel Ferrero Rocher cakes.
Apple pencil's going.
And don't worry about your pencil, Jules. There we go. So this is our first entry there. There, right. Entry number 2. Now this is from Keith.
This is better. I don't have to be in shot here.
Keith is the next entry. Now, Keith's made a number of dishes. This one, though, is a chocolate torte, would you call it? I don't know. It's chocolate torte. Keith actually lives in Germany. He is English, but he teaches English in Germany. And he's a subscriber over there who we met in Dusseldorf. Our next entry, I believe, is Samantha. Now, this is a Victoria sponge, I think it is, and her 12-year-old son actually made that. He did a much better job than I did. There we go.
Can't really get it. That's probably the best angle.
The next one we've got from Hayley, and that looks like a chocolate cake with chocolate flake on the top. I like chocolate cake. And next we've got Peter. Now, Peter, he made a lemon drizzle loaf, I believe that was. There we go. I do like lemon drizzle cake. It's one of my favourites. The next comes from Tony Marsh. And Tony made some star cookies, biscuits. There we go. They look very nice.
If you're not hungry now, guys and girls,
Yeah.
you will be.
The next one, VW Adventures, I believe it is. And that is a chocolate loaf with white chocolate buttons on. If it's not, then I stand corrected, but that's what I took from it. The next, we've got Motorhome Chit Chat, who I believe that was Vicky cooked herself a birthday cake. So good work there, Aaron, on getting out and making a cake. I think it's a carrot cake. So the pictures are really good at our end, but I think yours, unfortunately, was not much we can do. They're a bit blown out, but they're much better. Next one, oh, now this is Alfie, Lost Weekend's grandson, Alfie, and he made some cornflake cakes. You don't even need to bake those, so that might be something for me to do next time. But good work, Alfie. Yeah. Another one from the youngsters. This is little Freddie. I think it's Freddie 3 now, Gareth, I'm not sure. Little Freddie, he made some cupcakes. Just goes to show that even a 3-year-old can do better than I can.
With an oven.
Yeah, but even with an oven, I probably couldn't have done that, Jules. Crafty Caravanners. Now, it was Kaz's birthday today, and Pete made that for her. I hope it tasted better than it looked. I think he had some problems, if I'm honest.
Martin, we're coming to yours soon.
Yeah, we next have Mike. Mike made bread. I wanted to make bread, but I couldn't find any flour. I wanted to do bread in the slow cooker. Now, next we've got Julia.
Look at this one.
Look at that. I don't even know what it is, Jules, because I can't see it.
The eldest cake.
Oh my gosh! Right now, this is a sterling effort. This was a birthday cake. She did say that she hadn't made it this week. It was actually a past cake, but she was free to enter that because that is astounding. I say you could get work making those. I'd like an Adria one. So fantastic. Next, we've got Lisa. Now, Lisa submitted 2. I think she submitted this cake, and the next one, I think, Jules, as well, is Lisa's. And I think those scones as well. So we've got a cake and scones. Next, Alison Richardson. Now, this brought a smile to my face. Look at that. It is a rainbow cake.
Rainbow cake.
Now, that to me has 2 meanings. One, it's obviously to do with the LBGT. God, it's easy if you say community. But also, children this week have been putting rainbows in their windows. So that is absolutely lovely. That brought a smile to my face. Bob McKay. Bob's up next. Bob didn't do much better than me by the look of it. I'm only kidding, Bob. Bob made some rock cakes. Good work, Bob. They look like mine turned out. Mine weren't meant to be rock cakes, but mine look very much like that. Martin Sanderson. Now, Martin had as much success with the microwave as I did. Yes, there's Martin's microwave cake. Superb, Martin. Good work on the Isle of Man. Next, we've got Anne Shirley. Is it Anne? Yeah, it was Anne Shirley, yeah. Anne made blueberry muffins. Muffins, I suppose you'd call those. Good work, Anne. Oliver Cox next. Oliver has made... What has made yours? Oh, scones. We've got some scones there. Jam first, I think, as opposed to cream.
Oh, controversial.
Yeah. Thoughts in the comments, but for me, it's jam and then cream. But I've got to be careful because it sends me that. It gives me a hypo and makes me fall asleep if I have cream teas. Next but not least, we have got Andy Wild, and that is Rocky Road. And you can make that in the caravan as well, because that's where he's made that.
In the microwave.
Not in the... They haven't made that in the microwave.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah,
has he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, microwave. So there we go. I better get my act together. Good work, Andy Wild. Next, Venomator. Roger's wife has made... Oh, what did he say it was? It was something like a treacle or ginger cake with... lemon butter icing. I think it was something like that, wasn't it, Rog? Lemon. I know it was lemon butter because I remember thinking I like that. I think it was treacle cake. You'll tell me, I'm sure. And then the last but not least, we've got Julie's entry, which is more scones. And what I will show you is I'll show you my effort. Now this is how mine went. As you can see, the packet mix behind of how those cupcakes should have looked. And those are mine, which look absolutely disgusting and were not fit for consumption.
Now using them to wedge the door open.
Yeah, they're now holding the door open. You could hammer an awning peg in with those bad boys. So there we go.
Use.
Yeah, right, let's have a look at the comments and see what people think. So there we go. Those were the entries. Let's catch up on the comments before we announce the winner. So
close, Karina, but no cigar. Right. I don't even know where to start.
So, yeah, that's brilliant, that Ollie's cake. Yeah, absolutely agree. Now,
Blueberry muffins. Brilliant eldest cake, my birthday cake taste.
Bob's Rock Cakes here. Bob, I think you better stay out of the kitchen like me. But no, they probably tasted really nice.
Right, so we've got jam and cream. Jam and cream. Defo jam first.
All right, that's all right. Now, who won? Okay, now, as I say, the pictures didn't always do that justice, to be fair. Our pictures are much better. Now, we did seek the advice of somebody independent.
An independent.
As independent as it got. Earlier on, we showed these pictures to Ian from Caravan Gossip.
Turn that a bit.
You probably cut us off, Jules. So, yeah, so we showed them to Ian. We went through them on a phone call, and I already had a winner, Jules did, and Ian went through them, and funnily enough, all three of us agreed. Now, we couldn't have the eldest cake because it wasn't cooked this week.
Lady C is saying we forgot Anne.
Anne.
I'm assuming it's going to be, is it Anne Brooks? Anne Shirley?
I did Anne.
We did Anne Shirley.
Yeah, did Anne Shirley. So, anyway, the winner is Jeff. Jeff, I think your surname's Foster. Jeff, with the first cakes we saw, the Ferrero Rocher salted caramel, because he even sent me a picture of the inside. It was runny caramel that poured out. So, Jeff, you are welcome, Jeff. Great winner, to be fair. So what we'll do is, after this, I'll get your details and send them on to Colapz, and they'll make sure they get that trunk out to you. So, well done. As I say, next week we'll have a quiz where we've got a prize, and then we will, the week after, do bingo. And we'll all make our own bingo boards. I don't know what you call them.
Cards.
Bingo cards. Yeah. We'll make them, but I'll explain that next week.
Send us a picture of your dabber.
Well, we'll have to have pictures. If you're taking part, we'll have to have pictures of your cards. God, we're going to have so many. We're going to be busy. But yeah, so let's hope we're not driving ambulances. Otherwise, we won't have time for all this. But yeah, so that was great. Genuinely, thank you so much to everybody that has entered, because it's brilliant. We really appreciate it.
And like I said last week, I can't believe I was disqualified from entering because I really want one of those trunkies. But
yeah, we really want a trunk. So I was hoping that we could enter, but that won't be fair. What I'm going to say is, as well, once we are all back out and about caravanning, which we cannot wait for, and motorhoming, we will have a meetup. And what we're going to do at the meetup is, everyone that's entered, you're welcome to come and cook those cakes again, and I will get to test them that time. So yeah, but no, and the kids that have joined in, brilliant. If I could send everyone a prize, I would, but I can't. But if we do have a meetup and we can have another bake-off, I will gladly get prizes together. Hopefully by then I could secure prizes from a number of other businesses and manufacturers that I'm sure will be grateful that we're sticking by them and they'll stick by us. So hopefully we could have some really good prizes, because that was excellent. That's made my week as that. Andrew, I'm getting the feeling you want cake. Does Andrew want cake as well? All entries now to be sent to Andrew who didn't.
I've missed what's gone on here because Zoe's had to come on in place of Ian, saying, "Zoe here, have you seen the size of him?" I'm thinking,
What? Seen the size of Ian? I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, Ian's got, yeah. In fact, Ian didn't bake anything. I'm a bit upset about that.
Well, last week he sent me a picture.
Oh yeah, of that horrendous.
What was that? All entries now to be sent to Andrew Ditton. No. No.
No.
No food parcels going to the Outer Hebrides. They've got to come taste tested here first.
Yeah, we definitely need some taste testing. So hopefully, we can arrange at some point when this is over a big meetup where we can all get together and do a barbecue and do a bake-off and do all these things. So that was the bit of fun for the week. Really good fun. And one thing, I mean, it's one of those right now as well. We'll all have bookings all over the place. I know we've had a few, and it's one of those. It's we can hopefully all rearrange stuff for later on in the year and get back out, because we can't wait. I mean, our caravan, as you know, is in storage, so we can't even go and sit in it on the drive. But yeah, we will be back out soon. I'm just wondering how people are all getting on with their families now you're in such confined spaces. We're doing all right still, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I've got the shed.
that's the Airbnb.
Oh, is that the Airbnb?
That's the Airbnb now. That's not a shed. We're going places with that. Is everyone still getting on, or has this just really been a total nightmare for you all? I mean, that's another thing. So,
Phil has had a full tub of Juliet's flapjacks. Who had a full tub of Juliet's flapjacks, I wonder? I saw that in a certain video, and I think Mr. Ditton might have been the culprit there when he ran off with one. Yeah,
the recipient. Yeah. So, John from Lensman 2 Online, you're still working.
Carla is loving my company.
Do you know, we rang Stephen this week. If anyone's worried, Carla's all right. Stephen is looking after her very well.
No, Carla's looking after
Stephen. That's it. Yeah. I keep forgetting that one. But no, Stephen and Carla are fine. They're getting on well. They're having a good laugh. We spoke to them. They seemed in good spirits. And we're hoping to see them as well when all this is over too. So they are fine. Anne and Gary are fine. Who else have we caught up with? Lloyd and Yvonne are all right. Lloyd's renovated his whole garden, so he's keeping out of trouble.
I think looking at the comments that are coming in, us caravanners and motorhomers and van lifers are all hardy people because we're used to spending quite a lot of time in a confined space
with each other.
So this isn't really having much of an effect. Everybody's saying, yeah, getting on fine, no problems.
And Rob from Holidays in a Home.
Alison said Dallas is smelling a bit. I thought I read that as he's smiling. But no, he's
he smells
smelling.
less than Dougal.
Dallas is smelling a bit. Brilliant.
Eileen and Bob are doing okay.
What was that? Freddie been very testing today.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Crikey, yeah, full of beans.
Yeah, I must say, it must be pretty hard when people...
Dave, my hubby, suggested as we were off we could clean the kitchen blinds. I reminded him loudly, I'm not off.
Mark Cooper, as I've been disqualified, I've unsubscribed. Oh, bless him. Well, Mark's fine as well.
Cheaters never prosper.
Well, I'm surprised. Well, do you know what? If actually people had been at Longley, Mark would have tried to fish his entry out of the bins. So it's only because there weren't any people there. But Mark and Gail, we've been in touch with them. They're okay. And I know there's a lot of other wardens that are now on sites. They've got no guests with them. They're sort of keeping the sites pristine, ready for us all going back. So, I mean, they're doing a good job because, again, that wasn't quite the year they were expecting. Some of them this is their first year as wardens, and I mean, crikey, it's, not quite what they thought. So, good on you for keeping your spirits up by getting out there and doing the jobs on site. A meet-up would be a great idea. Yeah, it would, Alex, and we intend to do that, definitely. As and when we will. I think I've had an idea, and because it is difficult to find a site that will accommodate everybody. So when we are back out and about,
who needs the military for planning phases?
Yeah,
I've had an idea.
I'm always good
that
at that
idea. Will have different brainstorming routes coming off here, there, and everywhere.
I've had an idea, and as I say, it's hard to find a site. So I think what we'll do in the end is head to probably a club site. I'll get in touch with one of the clubs to see if we can arrange something and okay it. It'll probably be in the Midlands, because I think right now we probably need to be more central, because we've got people in the north, people in the south, and obviously we're well south now. We used to be well north. So it's fair that let's meet in the middle. And once we know when we're back out, we'll do it. And hopefully, at this rate, it may be summer. Let's fingers crossed, and we can do something maybe summer holiday time if we're all back out and about. We'll have a site where it is family friendly, so we can be inclusive of everybody, dog friendly, So yeah, we'll definitely do something. Definitely, because I think we're going to need it, and we can all come together and have a really good time. And that whether that be a motorhome, and even with like the clubs as well, they'll allow tents, they'll allow trailer tents, camper vans, motorhomes, caravans, twin axles, you name it. You can vans, European vans, everybody. So we will definitely be doing that. Don't worry, Vadworth. So there we go. Right, what we'll do then, we will. Morning the Marsh is still traumatised. Yeah, that was Twitter camp. Hopefully we'll have a Twitter camp next year after all this. So there we go. I think we'll wind it up there because it's getting towards my bedtime. But once again, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for entering. Thank you to Colapz. That was excellent. Duvalay as well, 25% off on their Duvalays if you want to go to their site.
If anybody's watching this after the event, because I haven't seen Jane and Helen drop in, and I know people sometimes drop in the day after, all the links are in the description below for our Twitter if you're not following us, for the newsletter, for the sale that we found for Duvalay, and Colapz for the website. So everything's below, made easy, just under here. So hopefully it's there for people to see.
So please, if you liked the live, please give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, fine, give us a thumbs down. But in this current climate, that, really...
Kevin,
please.
Kevin Brown, do you accept newbie motorhomers who hire before? Absolutely. Anybody.
Yeah. Anyone. That's it. Let's get together.
We do sometimes say caravanners, motorhomers, and we don't mean to exclude people in vans, people in tents, people just coming to say hello. We're not bothered. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's great. And as I say, if you don't subscribe, please do. Not that it really makes great bit of difference, but it's always nice. It makes me feel a bit cheerier at the end of the day. So thank you, everyone. Same time, same place, next Friday, 8 o'clock. We will be doing a quiz. It will be a bit of general knowledge, and then it'll also be sort of caravan and motorhome and touring related, so something for everyone. It won't be overly difficult because that's not much fun, is it? And we will have a prize. Again, thank you from Colapz. If anyone that's watching from another company would like to donate anything so we can have more prizes, that'll be super. If not, I think that's about it. We'll see you on Twitter Monday if people are on Twitter.
12 o'clock?
12 o'clock, yeah. And we'll have a Tintatum going out on Tuesday. Again, not the best we've ever done, don't get me wrong, but it's better than nothing. So, thank you, everybody. Stay safe this week, please. Things are going to get a little bit worse for us all. We're not naive to it, but let's stick together. Let's help each other. And just stay safe. Stay inside, please. Look after each other. So, as always... Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Take care.